Okay, so now in your After Effects project, you have a sequence, one of these tabs that you want to export, you want to save. So sometimes your project will have lots of tabs and they are basically little compositions, little sequences that are within one sequence. So you want to make sure that you are on the tab that is the main sequence, the one that when you scrub through it with your mouse, it's the whole sequence that you want to export. So first thing, you have to set how much you want to export. You will see in the timeline that right above the top layer and right above this green bar or the gray bar or whatever color it is here, it can be red or yellow depending on if it's rendered or not, you have this work area. And on the left and the right, there are two yellow little markers. If you click one of them and drag, you can see that it increases or decreases the length of your work area. Now you want to set the work area to the length of your composition that you want to export. So for this transition, I just want to go from the beginning here to around 3 seconds. So I'm going to bring this in to 3 seconds. And now if I press 0 on my keyboard, it plays through this entire sequence. Rather than going through the entire timeline, it just goes through this work area and it will repeat until you press stop. Okay, so how do you export? Go up to Composition and then Add to Render Queue. It will pop open a new tab down here, and typically if it's your first export, it will just show up like this as one little option box down here. There are different options for settings and where you export to. So click where it says lossless. You will see a module that pops up and you get to set your settings here. So under video output, click format. If you're exporting for video that you want to post online or just keep that's relatively a small file but still high quality, I suggest changing the video codec to H.264. This is a QuickTime format that is high quality but a small file size. You can see that there's lots of different options here, but we don't have to go into those. If you have any questions, you can let me know. Otherwise, just click H.264. Make sure that your basic video settings is at 100. Click OK. You can also set your audio settings. If there is audio, you can change it down here, but I would just typically leave that as it is. Then hit OK. Next to output to, it says not yet specified. You have to click that, and this is where you decide where you want your files to save. So I'm going to save them into this Editing After Effects Templates folder. I'm going to create a new folder called Exports, and I will just call this Transition 2. Then on the right side, you click Render. So it's going to render out your file. It depends on how fast your computer is, and it can be a lot slower or faster depending on how fast your computer is. Now I'm going to go over to my files, go to that folder, and you can see in my exports now I have Transition 2, which I can play, and you can see is now there for me to play. So that is how you export or render out files in After Effects. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in another video.